Hi. Hello. Didn't see you there. I say that having filmed this like 50 times. It's fine. We're fine. Hello. Hi. My name is Ruby. I should look at the camera because I shouldn't point myself at you. That is rude. Yes. Hello. This video might not even see the light of day, but you know what? It's fine. Fun times. Today we are here to do the media book freakout tag. Not focusing. Don't focus on my laptop. I mean, okay. It is prettier than I am, so. Okay, first question. Best book you've read this year so far. It's right over here, so we're gonna grab it. And it is, can we see it? Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. If you didn't know, hi, hello, my all-time favorite series is The Infernal Devices. 3 years ago I would have not said the same answer. I would have told you Mortal Instruments for life, but that changed. I've been highly anticipating this since I reread that trilogy like 2 years ago, and I was like, why do I like the Mortal Instruments? No. So obviously, I was then very excited to read this, and then I did read it and I had a lot of emotions, and then I finished it and was anxious for a week. So if that gives you any indication as to my feelings, there we go. It's rated nothing on Goodreads. A lot happened. If I was anxious for a week after reading this, for that we're gonna go with this one, even though I don't know. Next question is best sequel you've read so far. Imagine Me by Tara Murphy. To be honest, I didn't love the last two. When I first read Restore Me, I gave it like 5 stars, but I don't even know why I did that. I read Defy Me, also rated it highly, but then looking back, it's more like a 3-star. But then I read this one, and as I said, like, I don't think that the newer trilogy is as good, but I read it all in a day. Technically it was like 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. But I'm still counting that, okay? And I thought that it was super, super well done. And I was just emotionally invested. I couldn't stop. And I didn't dislike any of the elements. I think I gave it a 4.5, I'm pretty sure. I realized that she never ends them on like a solid, I don't know what words are. It could have had something else to it. But all in all, I thought that it was great. I had a lot of emotions, especially that one chapter at the end. It's the biggest ship. I don't really care about anyone else. But yeah, the biggest ship, and there was one chapter, and it was good. It was great. It was great. Okay, next question. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Wait a second. I am extremely dumb. I own this book. Anna K by Jenny Lee, which is an Anna Karenina retelling. Have not read Anna Karenina. I've only seen the movie. All I know is that Keira Knightley is in it. She's a queen, so we'll have to see it. I have heard people give this either like low ratings because they found that it was petty and boring, or that it's like a phenomenal read that is gonna blow your mind. I trust those people, so I do have high expectations, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna love it. Also, this cover, real pretty. Forgot to mention, Anna K is by a Korean author. I did not mention that. I could go and get them because I have the first 2. This is Four Fingers, the first 2 volumes in the series. Anyway, so we're just gonna insert a picture right over here. I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands. Heartstopper Volume 3, which, if you have not heard of Heartstopper, you must be living under a rock. But Heartstopper is the most adorable graphic novel series. I think that it's so great. Love Alice Oseman. I do prefer her writing, but the illustrations are adorable. And again, if you haven't heard of the Heartstopper series, then I don't know what you're doing with yourself. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I did a post on my blog about the Hunger Games because I adore that series. I think that it still lives up. I recently reread it at the beginning of the year in preparation for this last one, and I just literally love everything about that series. I love the films. I love their like best film adaptations. I have full faith in Suzanne Collins because I know it has some mixed reviews, which I'm hoping that I will not dislike this book, but I don't think so. So, fingers crossed. toes crossed. I can't lift my leg up that high. Next one is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have read The Poet X. I read it last year. Very, very good. And I also still have With the Fire on High that I haven't read yet. It's somewhere over there. I think when it comes, I'm gonna like binge marathon both of them because I love to see it. Okay, anticipated upcoming release. I didn't know that was the next question. Okay, first one is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. All I know is that it's queer, it's by a Latinx author, it's about ghosts and accidentally summoning a ghost. Very excited. Then I have Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. Book 1, low-key trash. Very much enjoyed it though because I am a trash person. Ended on a cliffhanger. Want to read the next book. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which is her latest adult I think it's fantasy. I am not prepared. It is going to be very good. I love V.E. Schwab's adult writing. All I know is that it's about a 300-year-old French woman who, I think when she meets people, they forget about her, but then she meets like is it a demon? It might be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure meets a demon. And I'm assuming it could be queer because V.E. Schwab said that all her characters, if not stated otherwise, are queer, so I'm not really sure. Sounds very good. It has like rave reviews and I'm very excited for it to come out. Okay, let's just grab my laptop because I cannot say this name. How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories. The Holly Black. I marathon read the Folk of the Air series last year. Also have a blog post. Should I link it? I'm gonna link it. All I know is that it's about Carden. I didn't realize. We have a visitor, but I'm not going to show you him because he'll get irritated with me. Okay. Next question. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. It's fine, we're fine. Biggest disappointment so far. Remember the days when I would leave this question empty? Because I do. I have left them empty because I am easy to please and non-critical, but I have two books that one wasn't as much of a disappointment as the other, so we'll do that one first. Again But Better by Christine Riccio. I was thinking, you know, I've seen all the bad reviews, maybe I'll like it. I was hoping that I would give it a 4-star. Landed up, it wasn't too disappointing to be honest because I didn't know much about it, but I just didn't really like all the elements of the story. The writing wasn't anything special, and I know some people are like, oh, but it's a debut. Fair enough, but not for me. Like, if I don't like the writing or the characters, then there's not really anything in the book for me, so wasn't a fan. The characters are dumb. I don't like cheating. Only thing that I liked was the college setting because I am a first-year university student and I really enjoyed that aspect of it, but otherwise... But my biggest disappointment, let's get it off my shelf. Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I realize that Greece is very problematic. I do know that. But I was like, you know, this could be really fun. It had like nothing but basically glowing 4-star reviews. And then I read this and unfortunately it was 2 stars. And I think I'm in the minority here. I couldn't do it. I was a very mature teenager in high school. Like, I think I was a bit old for my age. So I do understand that not all high schoolers are mature. And I know that it's very realistic. They were seniors in high school, so... I don't know. But it was packed with every single joke you could find in like one line. And I didn't like that. I prefer like witty banter. Not for all of the writing that is supposed to be funny to be like in a dialogue, because no teenager has like a joke ongoing in their head every single second. Like, you can just walk to the bathroom, you know what I mean? There was no chemistry between the two main characters. They were extremely toxic as well, oh my gosh. And it irritated me, and I just... I'm salty. Just all of the... It's like all of the chemistry was supposed to be in these flashbacks, which I do appreciate the incorporation of flashbacks. I think that it didn't feel disjointed in any way, but it wasn't there, and the couple had just so much drama, especially miscommunication drama, and I hate miscommunication drama. It's the actual worst, and yeah, just not a fan. Didn't like the romance, didn't like the writing, didn't like most of the characters. There's also fat shaming in here. Every single character was like a high school cliche, and I don't like Netflix rom-coms. Anyways, next question is biggest surprise of the year so far, and that has to be One of Us Is Next by Karen M. McManus. It's not my favorite of the year. I gave it a 4.5 stars because her writing isn't that amazing in my opinion. But for once, like ever, I enjoyed the mystery plotline of this book, and I think it's because I do not really care for murder mysteries. I don't like murder mysteries. I don't care about the person who died, so how am I supposed to care about the mystery? I liked this is a sequel to One of Us Is Lying, by the way. It's about some of the siblings of the main characters of the last book. It was very fun. I read it super quickly, and as I mentioned, I was really into the mystery. I just thought that it was really good. There are some other options for this, but I do not remember. Favorite new author. We have 2 responses to this question. Responses? This is not a survey. I have read A Million Junes. I read it last year. Technically this is the same answer as last year. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I only read one of her books last year, and then I read Beach Read, which is an adult romance, and I adored this book. I got to be on the blog tour. I got an e-arc. It was so good. I think it was also potential for favorite book of the year, but I was going to talk about it later in the video, so I thought just make Chena Gold. I love her writing style. I'm going to go read all her backlist, which is why I'm adding her on this list, because her writing style is stunning. And the characters, also Beach Read, so funny. Oh my gosh, the jokes are spot on. So it's A+ for witty banter, and it's just so good. And if you haven't read it yet, highly recommend. The next author that I want to talk about was Tomi Adeyemi, the one and only Tomi Adeyemi, which I finally read Children of Blood and Bone this year. I put it off for far too long, and I read it and it was really fun. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it the 3.5 out of 5 stars. But the reason that I wanted to talk about Tomi Adeyemi was that I posted a photo on Instagram and she responded to it, so she's really nice, and I think that she's so sweet, and I just very much admire her and what she's doing, and she's just a great human and a fave author, and I will read everything that she puts out. Have not read the sequel yet, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, but I do plan on doing so. So, Tomi Adeyemi. Next question. I actually don't know what the next question is. Newest fictional crush. Oh boy. This question, to be honest, I don't know. 2020 has been a hard year for me. I have not been reading as much YA as I used to. I still want to read them all, but I have not been in a big YA mood, and the YA that I have been reading has been rereads. So like, I could go with Gansey, and I think this was probably an answer back when I read this trilogy quartet like 3 years ago. So I could go with Sir Richard Campbell Gansey III because I love him, but I don't think I should do that. I don't know. You know what, let's talk about this book now. I was gonna do it later, but okay. I read, should I get my pretty edition? Let's get my pretty edition. I took my copy of Anne of Green Gables. I have this stunning edition that I finally bought myself for my birthday last year, and the audiobook is narrated by Rachel McAdams. I sat on my bed with the audiobook in my ears and read along with it, and I think that it was such a fun and immersive experience. But newest fictional crush is both Anne and Gilbert, obviously. I love them. I really liked Danny from Take a Hint, Danny Brown. Next question. Newest favorite fictional character. We could go with Asher from Meet Me at Midnight, which was a book that I read earlier this year. Didn't know anything about it, except the cover is really cool. And it was just a fun time and I really liked it. It's a summer romance contemporary. We're looking for something like that. But I really liked Asher. I thought that he was really complex and I related to him a little bit. Next question. Book that made me cry. Emily Henry did a really great job at writing grief. Like, the story felt really personal. It wasn't full-blown tears, but it was, I always cry or get really upset when characters talk about death because it hurts. It hurts. Book that made you happy. The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary, which was such a refreshing adult contemporary romance. It's got that rom-com feel that's like this strange setup and premise that is obviously very unrealistic, but it just did it so well, but it didn't feel unrealistic. And I really appreciated how healthy the romance was, first of all. Very, very healthy, and like, there's no miscommunication or anything like that, and I really appreciated that. As well as the book tackling some other issues, and there was this really adorable gay subplot which I really liked, as well as the romance between the two main characters, Tiffy and Leon. They share a bed, but they have never met. Let's leave it at that. I don't feel like synopsising. Next question. Favorite book to movie adaptations you saw this year? Okay, I actually was like, wait, have I seen any? And I have. First one is To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You, which a lot of people disliked. I thought that it was really great. Like, I was smiling the whole way through, and I thought that it was not as good as the first one, because the first one has this like indie movie feel, whereas this one felt more Netflix. And then currently, I think we are... Oh, someone's messaging me. I'm special. Oh my gosh, it's my dad. I am watching His Dark Materials, which is an HBO show. I haven't read the books. I need to. I'm maybe gonna read them, but the show is so good. But yes, anyway, book to movie adaptation. Favorite review written so far this year so far? I actually don't know. When I choose one, I'll put it over here. I don't know. Next question is, most beautiful book you've bought this year so far? Didn't buy this. I won this in a giveaway, but it's gonna count. It has a little bookmark in it because my sister is going to borrow it. But it is this beautiful edition of Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. It has these stunning orange edges and pretty end papers, as well as it being signed. Next question. Books I need to read before the end of the year. This list is long, so we're gonna try and move through them very, very quickly. Torch Against the Night by Sabathir. Adored the first book, read it like 2 years ago. Have I read the second one? No. And I swear if I do not finish it. Also, the fourth book is coming out and I need to read this book. It's gonna crush me, but I need to read it. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really want to read King of Scars. Need to read the Greece trilogy before I do so. The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This book is big. I'm scared. Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. West African inspired fantasy. Very excited. The Star of Sea by Erin Morgenstern, as well as The Night Circus, but I don't feel like getting that book right now. Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Seabatter, because I reread The Raven Cycle. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Ugly edition. I need to get the nice one to match my edition of Vengeful. I need to read this. I'm very excited because I think that I'm gonna love it, because I love her adult writing style, as we have previously established. Anyways, yeah, Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I think that is it for this video. All my social media links will be down below. I'm most active on my blog, so I'm gonna leave that down below. And Instagram, if you want to follow me over there, that would be great. I'm very active over there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that my brain made sense. I think in tornadoes. Otherwise, that is it from me today, and I will see you next time.